Hello and welcome to my sewing room disaster. I didn't clean it up for you, but I'm going to clean it up with you. How about that? So we're going to call this a sewing room chat. And I'm going to try and make sense of this total disorganization, and I'm going to pull back and show you what the heck is going on in here. It's a crappy mess. It's a mess. And I just haven't been in here. Like, I have not been in here since before Christmas, and we're talking it's March right now. So I miss it. I miss being in here. I don't know what happened, but it just seems like I had so much going on that I haven't had time to just create and do what I love. Being in here is a happy, happy place for me. It's just nice to think of all the possibilities, and I live the possibilities inside my head, and I think about all the things I want to make, and I've even started a few things. We'll call those UFOs, unfinished projects. Is that what that's for? Yeah, got lots of those, and I thought I might point some of those out and see if I can push myself to finish a few of those. But I really just wanted to be in here to kind of get my mojo back. I feel like I lost my mojo. Has that ever happened to you? Do you lose your mojo? I mean, I don't know. I just haven't felt like coming in here and doing anything, getting anything done. I've had so many things to do, and it just seems like I want to keep saying I keep getting robbed of my days because other things keep coming up that I have to get done. But I had the day today, and I just took the time to come in here, and I want to show you the crappy mess. So let me do that with my iPhone too, because I got this new iPhone XS, and it is an amazing video camera. Just amazing. Love, love, love it. Okay, so let me make sure I'm pulled back and show you my table. Okay, there's my table. It is a mess. And this basket right here has a UFO in it. Let me just hold this up for you. This UFO is this really pretty fabric. Oops, wrong side. It's really pretty fabric. Kind of noticing it's kind of see-through. This really pretty fabric is a velvety, crushed velvet with a pattern, kind of a little bit of a cutout pattern. And what the heck am I making here? I believe I'm making the dress that I made in my sewing class. Yep. I cut out the same dress that I made in my sewing class. Do you remember that? It was navy blue denim, like a dark denim. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so that is a UFO dress that should be really easy to make. Then down here, get my phone here and I'll show you. Down here is a pile of fabrics. So that fabric pile is fabric my son bought before Christmas and asked me to make him some more of those infinity scarves. Do you remember those? I've got a video on that. Well, I made two, and 1, 2, 3, 4 fabrics left to go. I never did them, so I told him I would. He bought the fabric. I get the leftovers, so there's going to be some really cool projects I can do with that. Maybe make myself a scarf. I never even made myself one of those infinity scarves. I made them for everybody for Christmas, but not me. What else? My table's a mess. So I got these new scissors. Man, I've had these over a month, and I've never even tried them. They are Kai, K-A-I. I've heard they're really good scissors. I feel like there's too much space above my head. I should come down so you can maybe see my table. Let me try that. Oh, that's better. Okay, I want to show you where you are, where this camera is. Okay, look at that. I'm going to zoom in. So it's on a little shelf that, this was my son's idea. He said, why don't you just get a little shelf and then you can put that camera right on it. And it's the perfect spot. It's a perfect spot. So I can zoom out and you'll see more, or I can zoom in, or I can come straight down. So I really should be doing more sewing. And I can show you all kinds of cool stuff, but I haven't been making any cool stuff. I did make those cup cozies, and I still have all the pieces are sitting here. Like, these are cup cozies that I never finished. And they are now UFOs. And scissors. Let's just put those in the scissor drawer. I put my pins up here. I always have a washcloth. That's the coolest thing when you're doing seam ripping and you just want some place to put the threads. I put them on the washcloth, and then I just shake them out over my garbage. And then it's also nice for if you kind of feel like you got a lot of threads on the table, you can just wipe it off. I keep this on here all the time. So the question is, why can't I resist buttons? What is it about buttons? Because they're not that great. I don't know. I need to go on Pinterest and see button crafts. Although I have, and I didn't really see anything I liked. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to pass those down to somebody. They'll end up at yard sales. Another pen and pen. So I'm going to do the wipe down now of all these little threads. Just like that, my table's cleared off. And you know, it does feel good. It feels like I could do something now. It feels like I could work in here. And I still think there's more cleaning to be done on the peripheral areas. I dropped a screwdriver. And here's some ribbon. I need to put this away. Wonder why I had this out. No idea. So I lost my mojo. I think I said that. And just, I like being happy. I like being happy. I like being excited. I like doing stuff. And so I've been kind of not happy for a few weeks because we had a death in our family, and my mother-in-law was elderly, and it wasn't a shock or a complete surprise, but it's still shocking. It's still surprising, and it's sad. And you know, when it's funny about death is when you look backwards, I don't know, this is new to me, but when you look backwards, it seems like things happened like for a reason before she passed away. It was like she just had a nice week. Like things, you know, we were starting to step in more as caregivers because it just seemed like she was starting to need that. And the talk between all of us was she might need to go to a care facility, and she's been living in her own home right here on our property between us for all this time. And I just remember thinking, oh, I hope she doesn't have to go to a home. She will hate that. I know she's having trouble remembering, but she's remembering enough to know she would know she'd hate it. She'd hate it. And so she didn't have to. So there was a blessing in that. And, you know, we just had some nice times. We had some really nice times. She had just had her hair done. Like I told my husband, I go, you need to start having her hair done like every week. And she just had her hair done, and she got to go to some nice places, and then she passed away peacefully at home. So it's a blessing, but she's gone. I have lived next door to this woman, oh, I don't want to cry now, for over 30 years. And she's just been, you know, always there for me. Like I could always count on her. And I just almost still don't believe she's not there. Just can't imagine it. So now there's all the stuff to divide, and you know, it starts out with you want a few things, but then it's like you have to take things that you can, somebody has to take this stuff. And so, you know, we started saying, well, maybe my kids will want this, and maybe my kids will want that. And so there's a lot of that going on. And you know, we started thinking about our own wills and our own plans, and that's new. We hadn't really, we just thought we had time. We always think you have time, right? So that was sad. Not like crying every day sad, but sad. And then 1 week later, interestingly enough, my best friend's husband passed away suddenly, and that was not expected at all. A complete shock. He was in his mid-70s, and yeah, he'd been having this challenge and that challenge, but not like you think he's at the end of his life kind of feeling, not at all. And they died 1 week apart. I mean, she was kind of helping me through losing my mother-in-law, and then she lost her husband of 58 years. 58 years of sleeping together, and talking to each other, and always having someone to talk to. And well, I can't even imagine it, you know. I don't even think we can even be married 58 years because we've been married 35. So we'd have to live a really long time for us to be even allowed to have that privilege. So at that, it's just a lot. And so, you know, I want to be there for my best friend and help her, but she's going to places I don't know. Like, I don't know how to help her. Just to be her friend and love her. But it's just something you have to do by yourself. You know, you just have to, you have to live a whole new life. So I'm kind of sad. Like, I'm kind of sad. It's like hard for me to just be happy. it's just this over layer of not happy. I don't want to call it sad or depressed or any of that. I just want to say it's not happy. And I really wanted to do fun things and go to fun places, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel fun. And I think that for me, it's lessening. I'm kind of finding my way back. And so I thought today I'm going to go in my sewing room and I'm going to look for my mojo and see if it's in there. And I actually feel like better. Like I feel like there is stuff I want to do. There's things I want to make, and you know, there's life to be lived, and there's stuff to be done. And I'm going to get that UFO dress and finish it. I think I have another UFO coat over there. I think those are my 2 UFOs that are started, not finished. And then I have a lot of fabric with ideas of things that I wanted to make with them. And oh my gosh, it's going to be summer and I have winter stuff I didn't do. So I'm just going to have to table that because I don't want to make a winter thing when summer gets here. Maybe it's time to start thinking summer already. And what am I going to wear for that? And what do you think? Is it time to start thinking summer already? And I mean, when you make stuff, it takes a while to make things, right? So you don't want to start a winter project when it's almost time to be summer. You don't even have time to wear it. I don't know if I want to tackle the coat. It just looks hard. So maybe I will table that. Oops, excuse me. It's all cut out, but I don't think I want to make it. It's hard. It looks hard. One step at a time. You know, if I could make that dressmaker dummy, I think I could probably make anything. That was so complicated. I'm still kind of in awe that I finished it because it was so above my skill level. And I get comments often from people that are just getting through, you know, one step at a time. And honestly, the only way I finished that project was to just not even try to figure out what I was doing, but just to read the directions and try to follow them. And the only time I got lost, I really wasn't reading the directions right. I mean, I thought I was, but when you go backwards and read it, it does make more sense. So, one step at a time. And I guess that's kind of like life, isn't it? It's just one step at a time. You know, I mean, my friend will find her new life one step at a time. We'll figure out all of my mother-in-law's stuff one step at a time. And we'll figure out what it's like to live here without her one step at a time. And you'll find my mojo one step at a time. I think I found my mojo in my sewing room. Maybe it was in there all the time. Bye now.